What's up, guys? It's your boy MMA Striker here with a new video today. Now today I'm going to be recapping UFC 252, the card that happened this past Saturday, and a lot happened, so let's jump right into it. So let's start with the main event, Miocic versus Cormier, the trilogy. It was a great fight in my opinion. It lived up to the hype, and let's get right to the breakdown. Now round one started, and round one was pretty much a close round. Both guys landed big shots, but I gave that round to DC. I think DC landed the bigger shots, and he stunned Stipe at the end of that round. So I gave round one a 10-9 to DC. Round two was pretty much the same. It was pretty much close, and for most of the round, I thought DC was landing the bigger shots up until the end, where Stipe hit him with that right hand and dropped him and hurt him bad. And Stipe's pivot right hand, I think he has the best right hand in the UFC. I mean, every time he lands that right hand clean, it pretty much drops his opponent or rocks them bad. So that's a 10-9 for Stipe. And for round three, now this is where the eye poke happened on DC, and a few DC fans were saying that the eye poke is the reason why DC lost. I disagree. DC's eye was already starting to swell up, and it was pretty red after the second round before the eye poke, and he was losing the fight. So if you're really gonna say that that's why he lost the fight, no, he was rocked and hurt before the eye poke was even happened. But anyways, Stipe, in my opinion, Stipe won that round. He landed the bigger shots. The momentum was shifted his way. That's 10-9 Stipe. Now, round four, I actually had DC winning this round. I thought he came back in this round, landed the bigger shots. Round four was a very close round. And I can see how you scored it for Stipe, but I gave it to DC by a slight margin. So I gave round four to DC. So going into round five, I had it 2-2. And round five starts, and Stipe pretty much outgrinded DC, wear it on him, uses his strength, landed the bigger shots, and pretty much drained DC. And I gave that round to Stipe. So I scored the fight 48-47 for Stipe Miocic. He retained his belt. He solidified his status as the greatest heavyweight of all time. There's pretty much no debate at this point. And it was a great fight, great performance by both guys. DC retired. DC had a great career at light heavyweight and heavyweight, former 2 division champion, beat a lot of great guys in his career, and he has done a lot in the sports, and he is most definitely a legend, Hall of Fame fighter, and hopefully his eye is okay, and hopefully he heals up fast. And what's next for Stipe? Now, there's been a lot of talks with Jon Jones moving up to heavyweight. As you know, he vacated his belt yesterday, and Dominic Reyes and Jan Blachowicz are going to be fighting for his vacant belt. And Jon Jones tweeted yesterday saying he had positive talks with the UFC about heavyweight, and it looks like he might be going to heavyweight, but Stipe and Francis Ngannou must happen first. Francis Ngannou needs to be fighting for the belt, and I think you need to make him versus Stipe first, and then the winner fights Jon Jones. But that's what I think should happen. And moving on to the co-main event, Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Chito Vera. Now, this was a pretty interesting outcome. Sean O'Malley hurt his leg, and Chito Vera got on top and elbowed him in like a big hammer fist. Now, a lot of people think that the reason why O'Malley got injured is because he did it to himself. I disagree. Chito, if you go back and look, Chito landed a leg kick on Sean. It was like near the calf, near the knee part, and you can automatically see O'Malley instantly switched stances and had a look of concern on his face when that kick landed. And then after the kick landed, he started doing a lot of awkward movements, a lot of stutter steps, and when he rolled his foot, that made it worse. And then he fell. Chito got on top, landed big elbows, and landed big hammer fists. And after the second hammer fist, O'Malley went out for a second. His arms went limp, and he got hit again. Then that's when Herb Dean stopped the fight. And then when Herb Dean stopped the fight, O'Malley got up and tried to grapple like the fight was still going on. Then he realized the fight was over. And then that's when he was very upset. But it wasn't a fluke or lucky. I don't believe in any flukes or luck in MMA. Everything happens for a reason. Chito started the injury with the kick. O'Malley did even more damage to it when he rolled it. Chito took advantage of it, got on top, landed big bombs. And in my opinion, it was a good stoppage. Herb Dean saved Sugar Sean O'Malley from a lot of potential head damage. And I think it was a legit win. And I think O'Malley's going to be out for a while now. So I would like to see Chito Vera fight either Rob Font or Yeah, I think Rob Font would be a good fight for him. And for O'Malley, when he comes back, I think either Song Yadong or Nathaniel Wood would be a good fight for him. And I want to talk about the Junior Dos Santos versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik fight for a little bit. The fight was, in my opinion, it was a great fight. Well, not great fight, but it was a good chess match. It was a lot of technical striking up until JDS got cracked with the big bomb of Rozenstruik. And I said in my prediction video, JDS took a lot of damage in his career. He's been in a lot of wars. He's been finished KO'd a lot of times, and his chin is not the same no more. And it showed when he got hit with the big shot. He went down, and he was out. And I honestly think JDS should retire after this. I mean, he's not gonna be fighting for a belt. He's taking a lot of damage in his career. I think he needs to retire. I think it's time for him to hang it up. He's on a 3-fight losing streak, all by KO or TKO. I think it's just time to hang it up for him. And what's next for Rozenstruik? I think Derek Lewis would be a good fight for him. Yeah, I think him and Derek Lewis would be the perfect fight. Two heavy hitters, two powerhouses. That would be a fun fight. But that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Make sure to comment down below your thoughts on the card, and make sure to subscribe and like. And I'll see you guys later.